Turn up, let's go.
Hi, this is Coach Sami from The Cave. Now, I don't know about where you guys live, but where I live, it's been really hot the last couple of days. And a lot of times when it's hot, I don't want to do a really hard workout. I still want to move and do something a little bit challenging, but I don't want to go run a mile or anything like that. So on those days, a lot of times what I will do is work on my balance. Now, balance is really helpful for a lot of sports like gymnastics and parkour, and it's really helpful for injury prevention too. So I'm going to show you a few of my favorite exercises and games and challenges to work on balance. Now, the first one I'm going to show you is a single leg Romanian deadlift. This is probably the most complicated one, but I think you guys can do it. So what we're going to do, I'm going to start by standing on one leg, and I'm going to start with a slight bend in this leg. This is my left leg. Now, the number one most important thing is that I'm not going to round my back. So I'm not going to reach for the ground like this. I'm going to keep my back nice and flat. I'm going to hinge at my hip, and I'm just going to hinge forward like this. Now, if I were super flexible, which I am not, I might be able to go down really far without rounding my back. But you'll see if I go too far, then I start to round. So I'm only going to go as far as I can until I feel a little bit of a tug in my hamstring, keeping my back flat. Now, if that was really easy for you, you can go ahead and add a weight. So I have an 8-pound dumbbell here. So I am going to stand on my same leg, slight bend in this knee, hinge at my hip, keeping the dumbbell nice and close to my leg, and come back up. Ooh, it got harder already. If you're finding this challenging, you can put your other foot down in between each rep. So start with a slight bend in my knee, down, and put this foot down. And then to make it more challenging, you can keep this foot up the whole time. And you'll see I'm struggling a little bit with my balance here. So that's a single leg Romanian deadlift. So for the single leg Romanian deadlift that I was just showing, I was working mostly on my hamstring strength in addition to my balance. My hamstring is the muscle going down the back of my leg. For this one, I'm going to work on more of my quad strength. So I'm going to use this tennis ball. I'm going to put it down on the ground. I'm going to stand on one leg, and I'm going to try to squat down and pick it up. Drop it again, squat down, pick it up, and stay nice and balanced. Now that might look pretty similar to the single leg RDL, but if you'll remember on the Romanian deadlift, I was keeping this leg mostly straight. It had just a tiny bit of bend, but I was keeping it mostly straight and hinging at the hip. This time, I'm really squatting down and really bending my knee. So this is going to start training us for eventually doing a single leg squat. Now, once that gets easy, what you can do is you can stand on something to make it a little harder. Now, I'm going to use my Bosu ball, but if you don't have one of these, maybe you have a balance board, or maybe you have a piece of foam, or even a mattress or a pillow. So I'm going to put that down on the ground. I'm going to try to balance on one leg, squat down, and pick it up. The next balance exercise that I'm going to show you is a single leg broad jump. So that's exactly what it sounds like. I'm going to stand on one leg. I'm going to bend my knee a little bit, bring my arms back to load up, and I'm going to jump and land on that same leg. Now, notice if I start to lose my balance when I catch, I'm going to just sink into that leg a little bit lower, and that will help me catch my balance. Ideally, I also want to land as quietly as I can, and not just because I have downstairs neighbors who will get mad at me, but also because that means I'm catching my jump on the ball of my foot. And in most sports, we want to be on the balls of our feet to be more athletic. Now, my favorite balance challenge is one that I do all the time at home, and I like it because it involves athleticism, hand-eye coordination, and balance. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stand on one foot. I have here a tennis ball, so I'm going to stand on one foot. I'm going to bounce the ball against the wall, and I'm going to switch to my other foot and count. And I like to switch hands too while I do it, but you don't have to. And you can count how many you get in a row. Now, when you're ready to make it harder, pull out whatever thing you used earlier to make your balancing harder. So I'm going back to my Bosu ball. Again, you could use a piece of foam or a pillow or a cushion. So I'm going to use this side of my Bosu ball this time. I'm going to stand on one leg, and this is going to make it quite a bit more challenging. So I hope that you're able to try a few of those to stay active during the heat wave.
Turn up, let's go.